All right.
So when you don't have an opponent for the weekend, how do you structure practice? I mean, it's obviously not game planning, but basically, what are you trying to get out of practice for this week?
Improve the Ravens offense. That's what you're trying to do. You know, when we had a bye week, the guys had the week off. So there was a lot of things we were able to improve on from a coaching staff standpoint. You know, self-scout, who we want to be moving forward, utilization of personnel, all of those things. But we didn't have the players here. So now you're fast forward 6 weeks later, 5 or 6 weeks later, you have a chance to kind of work on things that somewhat from a game planning standpoint, but more about us. Because the way we protect, the way we pass set, the way we run routes, how we structure things, how we do it better, that's what, to me, that's what this whole week's about.
I know it's only been 2 practices, but what you're seeing in Dalvin Cook.
Well, we're excited to add a talented player to our roster, you know, and I agree with what Coach said. I think he said it yesterday. You know, we look at more as a potential weapon than just someone that we've added to the roster. So, you know, now catching him up to speed, you know, in terms of terminology and, you know, what we call things, but it's not hard. Just got to, you know, continue to rep him and, you know, see where it goes from there.
Lamar told a story yesterday about how, you know, back in the offseason, texted him, told him, you know, I'm going to give you the keys to the offense, as far as like making checks to the line, that kind of thing. What are the, you know, having worked with him now a whole year, what are the traits that Lamar has that has allowed him to thrive, succeed in doing that part of the game, you know, change things in the morning?
Well, first off, he's highly intelligent. So he understands what you're asking him to do and what you're allowing him to do and when the situation presents that. That's probably as much as anything. And he's embraced wanting to do that. Not every quarterback wants that. Not every quarterback wants that on their plate and be empowered to change a play at the line of scrimmage or to put themselves out there where, okay, now they made the decision to change something at the line or a protection. But it starts with him. He's diligent. He's intelligent. He's certainly more than capable of, you know, seeing things, what the defense is presenting to him and how he can get us into a better play, get us into a premium play.
Todd, when you got here, you didn't know John Harbaugh really very well. You had certainly worked for a lot of head coaches over the years. Now that you've been with him for almost a year, what do you think are kind of the standout traits about him?
Consistency. I think if you said his day-to-day approach, his positive energy, his connection with the team, I mean, I've never brought anybody like that in terms of whether we've won, whether we've lost, in terms of his approach. Man, I think that that allows you, when you have a season as long as we do, in terms of sustaining for the long haul.
Todd, when you draw interest from other teams for their head coaching vacancies, how do you balance taking, you know, that part of you know, the interest that you've been shown and also, you know, planning for your current team?
Well, it's not hard because, you know, I'll be able to talk about that at a proper time when that comes up. But the bottom line is we have a chance to do something special here. You know, and our team, our focus is on this week, you know, and where we're headed and finding out this weekend who we're playing and then coming up with a great game plan and giving us the best chance to be successful next week.
What does it say about, I guess, you, Mike, Anthony, you know, other coaches in this organization? What does it say about this team this year that there's so much interest in the assistants?
Well, it says a lot about the organization. It says a lot about our players. It says a lot about our coaching staff. You don't do it alone. I mean, you got to have a great staff, great organization, and a great team. Players that believe in the plan and are able to execute it at a high level.
Todd, what's really stood out to you about Lamar and his leadership this season?
You know, Lamar is another one that, in what I've seen over the course of the year, that does a great job in terms of balancing success and disappointment and coming back to the office coming back in the building with a great frame of mind. You know, he has a great way of compartmentalizing some frustration, competitiveness, success, disappointment, all the above that comes from playing in the NFL, and walk in the building with a smile on his face and like, okay, let's go to work. That's a unique trait because it's hard. I mean, for what we do, and all of us, handling success, handling disappointment, and then walk in the building saying, okay, what's next? All right. Great. Holy cow.